Hola. So in today's videos, we're going to be going over the 4 rules of the reflexive verbs. So you have already learned the first rule. The first rule just simply states that when the subject of the sentence is followed by a reflexive verb, you're going to conjugate the reflexive verb, and then you're going to place the pronoun right in front of the reflexive verb. So if you look at this sentence, we have mi hermana por la noche. What vocabulary word is this? It's ducharse. So how would we conjugate ducharse in this context? It would be se ducha, because the subject of the sentence is mi hermana. It's being followed by the reflexive verb ducharse. So remember, you just conjugate the verbs as we're talking about her. We conjugate it in ella form, so it's ducha, and then we just use the appropriate pronoun se in front of the verb. So you have already learned this, right? Rule number 1 is what you've been practicing the last few days. So here we have mi hermano y yo, gel. This verb is ponerse gel, to put on gel. So how would we conjugate ponerse gel for mi hermano y yo? It would be nos ponemos. So the subject is mi hermano y yo. So we're going to conjugate the verb in the nosotros form, ponemos, and we place the pronoun in front of the verb, so it's nos ponemos. So that's just rule number 1. Rule number 2 states that when you have hay que and it's followed by a reflexive verb, you're going to use the infinitive of the reflexive verb. So if we look at this sentence, hay que los dientes todos los días. Hay que means it's necessary to, one must. So what verb is this? It's cepillarse. So we would just leave it as cepillarse. Hay que cepillarse los dientes todos los días. It's necessary to brush one's teeth every day. So looking at this picture, what verb is it? It's lavarse. Since we have hay que and we just use the infinitive of the verb, we're going to use lavarse. Hay que lavarse las manos antes de comer. It's necessary to wash one's hands before eating. So that's just rule number 2, right? Hay que is followed by the infinitive. Rule number 3 states that when you have antes, which means before, or después de, which means after, you are going to use the infinitive of the reflexive verb, then you're going to attach the correct pronoun to the infinitive. So here we have 2 actions, right? We have ducharse and we have acostarse. So this action is happening first, and then this action is happening afterwards. So here we have antes de me ducho. So antes de acostarme, me ducho. So before going to bed, I shower, right? So here, since we have antes de, I'm going to leave the infinitive of of that verb, and then I'm going to attach the correct pronoun. Since I'm talking about myself, it's going to be me. Here, we're still going to use the same verbs, but now it's going to be in the you form. And since it's after, since it's después de, so we're actually going to use ducharte. So después de ducharte, after you shower yourself, you go to bed. So since we have después de, we're going to use the infinitive of the verb, and then you attach the correct pronoun. Rule number 4 states that when you have 2 verbs next to each other, the first verb is going to be conjugated, and then the second verb is going to be in the infinitive, and then you have 2 options. You can either attach the reflexive pronoun to the second verb, which would be your reflexive verb, or you can place the pronoun instead of the first verb. So if you look at this example, necesito vestirme porque tengo una cita con María. So here, necesito is the first verb, vestirme is the second verb. So the first verb is conjugated, second verb is in the infinitive. I need to get dressed because I have a date with Maria. So you can have the option of placing the pronoun me, since I'm talking about myself, after the second verb. You can also place it in front of the conjugated verb. You could say, me necesito vestir porque tengo una cita con María. So both sentences mean exactly the same thing. But since we have two verbs, you can place it before the conjugated verb, or you can attach it to the infinitive. Here, it says, tú debes afeitar, or tú te debes afeitar antes de ir a trabajar. So here, you should shave before going to work. So since we have two verbs, we have debes and afeitar. Once again, you can place it before the conjugated verb, or you can attach it to the infinitive, as we can see down here. Tú debes afeitarte antes de ir a trabajar. You can attach the pronoun to the infinitive of the second verb, and they both mean the same thing. Okay, so those are the four rules. So now let's practice them. So you have hay que después de hacer ejercicio. How would you conjugate the verb, or would you conjugate it at all? It would be ducharse. So remember, with hay que, we're just going to use the infinitive of the verb, so it's necessary to take a shower, right, after exercising. Mi hermano, el pelo los sábados. What would it be? Se corta. Here we have our subject, my brother, mi hermano. So then we have the reflexive verb following it. So we're just going to use se corta. Oscar, ¿por qué a las 8? Porque tengo que ir a la escuela. What should it be? Te levantas. We're asking Oscar, why do you wake up at 8? So it's going to be te levantas. Here we have después de me lavo la cara. So what should it be? Después de despertarme, me lavo la cara. After waking up, I wash my face, right? Since we have después de, we're going to use the infinitive of the verb. Then we attach the appropriate pronoun. Tú quieres dormirse, pero no puedes. So how do we conjugate it? Tú quieres dormirte, pero no puedes. So this is rule number 4. You have two verbs. You have the first verb, which is conjugated. Second verb's in the infinitive. You could also move this te in front of quieres if you wanted to. So you could say, tú te quieres dormir, pero no puedes. So those were the 4 rules that we use with the reflexive verbs. Hasta luego, chicos.